Hello there, 1619 community. I'm incredibly excited to officially announce Workshop 1 out of a series of 6 workshops that I specifically designed for corporate organizations. I'd really love to share with you a poem that inspired my use of the term brave instead of safe spaces. And the poem is called Invitation to Brave Space, and it was written by Mickey Scott Bay Jones. And it goes like this. Together, we will create brave space because there is no such thing as a safe space. We exist in the real world. We all carry scars and we have all caused wounds. In this space, we seek to turn down the volume of the outside world. We amplify voices that fight to be heard elsewhere. We call each other to more truth and love. We have the right to start somewhere and continue to grow. We have the responsibility to examine what we think we know. We will not be perfect. This space will not be perfect. It will not always be what we wish it to be, but it will be our brave space together, and we will work on it side by side. So quickly, why not use the word safe space? Many people confuse the word safety with comfort, and particularly in my workshops that I have designed specifically to talk about race and race equity and racism in America, we can have a perfectly safe conversation that's incredibly uncomfortable. And honestly, that is the purpose of my workshops, is to help us get comfortable with the uncomfortable and to address important issues and challenges in our workplace so that we can ultimately achieve the goal of having an equitable workplace for everyone, where everyone, no matter their identity, feels like they can bring their whole selves to work. Another important point that I want to make here with regards to the use of brave space instead of safe space is that avoiding conversations about race for the sake of comfort serves to further advantage the dominant group. And in the case of talking about race and racism, that dominant group is white folks. So the first workshop is called Engaging in Brave Conversations About Race. And it's foundational to any type of training that I provide, any type of organization. So whether that is a full day, a half day, or in this case, this specific workshop is designed to be a 2-hour workshop, but it can be incorporated into full and half day sessions as well. What is this first workshop about? Well, as you probably already know, race and racism often makes people squirm, just the thought of it. So to sit in the 2-hour workshop or a half day or full day training about race equity often makes people squirm. And there's a number of reasons for that. One reason may be that they have this attitude that, or this belief, I should say, that if we don't talk about race, it won't exist. Another reason may just be the lack of understanding and knowledge with race and racism and the important terminology around discussing topics such as race and racism. And we often avoid things that are unknown because there's a fear associated with the unknown, right? As a leader in your organization, you hold a tremendous responsibility to creating spaces, brave spaces, to have these conversations and to talk about amongst your employees and your colleagues, what does race equity actually look like in the organization? And it starts with a baseline understanding of the terminology and a baseline understanding about the importance of this work and the importance of engaging in brave conversations about race. So that's what this course is all about. It's reviewing the important terminology when discussing topics such as race and racism. After this course, each participant will walk away with a common knowledge and understanding about important terminology when talking about race and racism, but also have a guide that allows them or equips them to participating and to equips them in facilitating conversations about race and racism. At 1619 Consulting, we believe in the power of offering training, optional training to your employees at a pace that helps them learn information, digest the information, and then apply it into their everyday lives. And that includes the workplace. But our hope is that we're actually changing hearts and minds in this work. So not only are you going to see improvements in your company culture, but our hope is that each and every one of you walks away with how to engage with a more racial justice and racial equity mindset in your everyday lives. So with that said, we do highly recommend that you allow your employees to optionally participate in this course in a 2-hour setting where there's pre-work and post-work available to them to help them be prepared for what we'll talk about and then afterwards process with additional supplemental materials. And the workshop itself is very engaging and leaves time for discussion and reflection as well. As I mentioned in the beginning, this workshop, Engaging Constructively in Brave Conversations About Race, is foundational to the training we provide. So whether you choose to just do one quick training or you choose to do a series of workshops over time or one full day or half day training, we always start our training with this foundational workshop. So if you find yourself excited and wanting to learn more about this workshop and the other workshop series that we provide,